Alright, I decided to make this video because there's some things I need to get off my chest. About in the past, about my friendship with Osito. Um, I used to be, I first became friends with Osito, whose real name is George. So his username on Steam Discord is Osito, or was, I don't know if he changed it. Anyways, I met him on Zombie No Room in Hell in 2015, I think January, or it might have been December 2014. Either way, um, I think I was like 17. I wasn't 18 yet, so I was 17, and then um, I believe Osito was like 9 or 10. I have no idea. I'm assuming 9 or 10. Yeah, we met Normal Hell, and he had me, and then we played games throughout the years, regularly and stuff like that. So from that time up to March 2022, um, we were friends. But on March 6, 2022, I'm going to show you right here. You can see that message. Hey dude, I know we don't talk too much anymore, but on Insta just now, and that's why you blocked me. I understand why you did it. Just know if you ever want to be friends again, you know where to find me. Peace, Osito. This was because I noticed that he blocked me on Instagram because I was on one of my Instagram posts looking at it, and then I noticed that his comment disappeared. So that's when I looked at try to view his profile. Wouldn't let me because that means he blocked me. Um, but if you want to know what led up to this, here's what you need to know, and there's some very important information I need to share here because Osito, aka George, and his entire friends group, as far as I know, all believe I'm a pedophile and that I was grooming him. So I need to clear this up because I'm not that type of person. I'm going to say to you right now, I'm not that type of person. I'm not a pedophile, and I was not grooming him. Um, and so, yeah, I need to get this off my chest because, I've forgotten, as I've progressed through life, I was unemployed for a very long time. From 2020 to 2020, I was unemployed. So after I started working, I started to forget all that crap on us and all the drama and stuff, and I started focusing on my life, stuff that's going on with my close friends, stuff like that. But every once in a while, like I keep remembering, like Osito, all the events, the accusations, all this stuff. And I need to get the truth out because I feel that everything that he said has scrambled the truth because I don't want to be remembered as being a pedophile because that's not who I am. Like I said, I'm not sexually attracted to children. So I need to get this video out because you never know when you're gonna die. Let's face it. Tomorrow, on my way to work, when I'm getting on the highway, I could get in a car crash and die. Okay, I need to clear this shit up before I die because I don't know when I'm gonna die. So I decided to do it today, October 23rd, 2025, at 11:31 p.m. And this is right after my girlfriend left. We just got finished watching It Chapter 2. That was a great movie. I love the cast, love the acting, everything amazing. I like the first one more though. But anyways, yeah, I need to clear this up. So basically, you know, as I said, me and Osito became friends from No Room in Hell. We met in that game, the zombie game on PC. Then we played other games from there, like Gary's Mod, Zombie Panic Source, stuff like that. Things were fine for a couple years, right? I lived in Michigan at that time, then I moved to North Carolina. And then by that time, I became friends with someone else named Cheeseface. Actually, I think I met Cheeseface around the same time as Oz, but I don't remember how I met him. I think I met him in DayZ Mod, Farmer 2. Anyways, yeah, so me, Cheeseface, and us, we were close. Alright, on Steam and Discord and stuff. Or Discord didn't exist in 2015. We were close, alright? We played games regularly, we talked every day almost. So me, Cheese, and Osito. I nicknamed us the Three Musketeers because we always played it like almost every day. We talked, we made jokes, stuff like that, and I know, like I said earlier, there's a big age gap. Okay, I was 17. Osito was 8 or 9. I need to get one thing straight. I did not become friends with Osito because of the age gap. I became friends with Osito because I liked him as a friend. Okay, that's what we were. Friends. Nothing more. We were nothing more than friends. Ever. At any point in our entire 7 years, like 7 years that we knew each other. Nothing more than friends. I need to get this point right now. Okay? So, yeah, obviously there's an age gap. It didn't make me uncomfortable. We just play games and talk. That's all we did. And there's an age gap with Cheeseface as well. I believe Cheeseface, his real name's, I don't know if he ever says his real name, I don't know if he wants me to say it, but he's like 4 years younger than me, maybe 5s. Let's just say he's 5 for the sake of this argument. So, when I met Cheeseface, I would have been 17, so he would have been 12. Again, did not intentionally become friends with him because of the age gap. Very important I get this known right here, because this is really important to understand this. I did not intentionally become friends with Cheeseface and Osito because they were so much younger. I was not targeting them, saying, oh, they're young. Oh, I'm going to groom them so that when they're 18, they'll be mine. No. I was friends with them because I had no real-life friends. And we play games. That's all we did. That's all we fucking did. That's all we fucking did. Anyways. So yeah, we play games almost every day for years. I mean, Grand Theft Auto, Arma, well, not Grand Theft Auto, didn't have it at that time. Arma 3, Arma 2, Left 4 Dead, No More in Hell, Gary's Mod, whatever. We played a lot of games, okay? But I'm not gonna lie, you know, there were times where we had arguments, stuff like that, little things, but nothing major, for the most part, not for a while. So yeah, we played games almost every day, we talked almost every day, stuff like that. Of course, Cheese had other friends that he played with, and whenever I saw him play with his other friends, I'm not gonna lie, I got jealous, and sometimes I would be like, you know, play with me instead, or whatever, play with me and Oz, or whatever. Or vice versa, if Oz was playing Grand Theft Auto 5, now when I play Left 4 Dead 2 or something with all three of us, I would say to Oz, like, get off Grand Theft Auto, let's play. Or, I was kind of controlling. Let me just put it that way. I was controlling, kind of. No, I was controlling. Just because I was barely an adult. Alright, I didn't really know any better. did dumb crap. I didn't really mean 90% of it. Okay. I think we can all say the same about our young childhood experiences where we say stuff and do stuff that we don't really mean. We're just doing it. I don't know why. We just do it, you know? But anyways, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit to 2017. That's when I moved back to Michigan from North Carolina. So I moved. I was unemployed all the way up until February or March 2018 when I worked at a hospital. And this is where everything starts to kind of fall into place as to why I made this video. This is kind of the main point, almost, in a way. We'll see why in a second. But anyways, 2018, actually, let me rewind a little bit. Trying to remember. In 2016, I think late 2016, maybe October, I friended someone named Synchronium. Randomly. Because he was friends with someone named KB on my Steam friends list, okay? So I friended Synchronium. Synchronium got introduced to Cheeseface and Osito, and then I also met someone named Lorbo, and we also became best friends, so me, Synchronium, Cheeseface, Lobo, Osito, we were all really close by then. Well, not so much Cheeseface. I mean, me and Cheese were close, but he wasn't, like, active in our friends group. So it was everyone except Cheeseface that was like active starting around that 2018 time. So, starting, September 2018. So yeah, September 2018, I saved up for a computer, and then I started streaming on Twitch with Osito, Secronium, Lorbel, and then also someone named Cat as well, occasionally. And also, let me point out one more thing here. Cat also was I don't know what his age was, but it's definitely under the age of 18. I don't even remember how the fuck I met Cat. Cat's awesome, nice person. I don't remember how I met him. I don't remember what game I was playing. I have no idea how I met him. But anyways, we played games regularly. I streamed on Twitch. Those streams are still active on my other channel called Article. They're still there. I used to watch them time to time because those were the good days. Like, everything was fine. We were all friends, But of course, there were times when Osito would want to play games with his other friends. And primarily, I'm talking about his friends from school. The friends that he met actually in school. So there were some times where he was like, I'm not going to play with you guys. I'm going to play with my other friends. And of course, like I said earlier, I got jealous. Okay. Just because I don't know, I was kind of a douche, I guess. I don't know. I was still growing up, learning what was. I was still kind of growing up. I wasn't really fully. I didn't really reach the full adult mindset by the time. Like, I wasn't really adult yet. Like, I hadn't experienced enough, so I was still really immature. And yeah, I got jealous and stuff like that. And I don't know how that affected us, but I know that nowadays he's like. He probably resents it away. There's something like he's like. I know he resents it and stuff because of what I'll say in a few minutes here, but yeah, for the most part, we were fine. And whenever we would play, sometimes I would tell, everyone, like, I love you. And this was just a brotherly thing. This was just a brotherly thing I was saying, like, I love you, bro. I said it to Secronium, I said it to Lobo, I said it to Cat, I said it to Osito, and other people I'm probably forgetting. And also another person, too, which I forgot to mention. Rayu Deru. He lives in Tunisia. And we met, I think, in 2017. I don't remember exactly how we met. But yeah, we met in 2017. He was also underage. Again, did not become friends with him just because underage. Just because he was underage. I became friends with him because we just naturally became friends. And there just happened to be an age gap. Okay, I need to point that out. Again. Anyways. When I said, I love you, I did not mean it romantically. I meant, like, love you, bro. If you're a guy, 90% chance you have said this to other people. And the reason I said it to everyone that I talked about is because these were the only friends I really hung out with. I didn't have an actual friend group outside of Steam and Discord. And work, but work was kind of like an acquaintance thing. I did have some friends I talked to, but I never really like talked to them a lot. Not at all compared to the amount of time that I spent talking and playing with everyone on Steam and Discord that I mentioned. I did not mean anything romantically. I love you. I love you, bro. That's all I meant, like. Okay? Need to point that out because that's extremely important for what I'm about to tell you a little later on. I played games, I had fun. I said a lot of dumb stuff. I did toxic stuff. We were just fooling around. We were just bros playing a game, hanging out. So anything I said or did, I didn't mean it 90% of the time. I was just being dumb. And honestly, my personality is really like, I want to say stuff to get a reaction. Because then your reaction is the content in the stream. That's how I was. That's why in a lot of my older streams, I was kind of like being dumb and stuff like that. Like, I was saying really dumb stuff. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm not proud of this at all, and I didn't mean it, but me, Osito, Lobo, and Secronium, we're playing Grand Theft Auto 5. I after a mission, I started like killing everyone on the beach. I don't remember which stream that was. I think it was. I will put it right here, and I'll include a timestamp if you want to see the part I'm talking about. But anyways, after a mission, I started killing everyone, and then Synchronim started killing me. You know, it was just kind of a dumb moment. But anyways, eventually, Lobo was like, "Why are you killing everyone?" And he was like, "Running over me with the car or something." And I was like, "Because I effed your mom." I didn't mean that crap. I would never mean something like that. That's horrible. I just said it because I was just stupid. I was being dumb. I was being dumb. We're playing a game. We're having fun. I wanted the content for the stream. That's literally why I said it. Okay? But anyways, yeah, we fooled around, you know, we just had fun, cracked jokes, you know. Sometimes we stayed up till like 4 or 5 in the morning playing games, streaming on Twitch. I mean, it was awesome. And of course, there was a coworker at this hospital that I had a crush on. Her name was Haley. She was blonde. So I was a patient safety attendant at this hospital. So basically, my job was I had to stay with patients who were suicidal or at a fall risk. So like people who were at harm of hurting themselves, or elderly patients who were kind of confused mentally. And so like if they got out of bed, they could fall. So I was there to make sure they didn't fall. And for the suicidal patients, I just had to monitor them. If I noted any issues, just go to the nurse, be like, "Hey, gotta check a patient out." Bam. Really that simple. They were 12-hour shifts, so it was very exhausting. And the pay was garbage, $11 an hour. But anyways, I met Haley. She was a fellow patient safety attendant, sitter, as a hospitals call it. I wanted to ask her out, but I never did because I had the mindset of I don't think any girl wants to be with me. And if I perceive that a girl might be flirting with me or might be, you know, coming like romantically attracted to me, it's all in my mind. It's all in my mind. That's what I felt like. And now I have a girlfriend, so obviously you can see that on the wall right there. Those are all paintings my girlfriend drew for me. Except that is a Samus Aran poster that my sister's ex-husband left behind at their house when they got a divorce, so I took that. And I think everything else there my girlfriend drew. Yep. So as you can see, lots different now. I'm different now. But anyways, so I had a crush on her. I didn't rest her out. And I told that to the friends group, Osito, Lobo, Synchronium, etc. I told that to them. And Osito heard it. So I'm just pointing this out, this crush part out, because again, not a pedophile. Okay. You need to know, like, my priorities. I wanted a girlfriend. I did. Having a girlfriend was one of my priorities, but I wasn't ready yet mentally, and honestly, kind of physically, because see, right now I'm a little overweight. I gotta lose some weight. Back then I was like this too. But yeah, I wasn't ready yet. So yeah, but I wanted a girlfriend. I wanted, you know, to be financially secure, stuff like that. But I was still kind of immature, because I was like 20 years old at this time, barely 21. So, you know, I was still growing up. Okay. But anyways, so yeah, I worked at the hospital from February or March 2018 to February 2020. So in February 2020, I quit the job, and I did not have another job until October 2020. Okay? During this time of unemployment, me and Osito, I probably played more games with Osito than any other person in the entire friends group. Actually, me and Zirconium played a lot too. We played Warzone. A lot of Warzone. I love that game to fucking death. I love you, Warzone. Warzone? Come here. Come here, Warzone. That's for Call of Duty 1 Warzone. Not for the bullshit jungle shit they fucking did. Not for the Cold War shit. Not for Warzone 2. Warzone 1 for dance. The fucking original. You get a big old kiss from Art Flowers. Love you, Warzone. I love that game, dude. Warzone 1 was the fucking best. best, dude. Like, I swear to God. I only got like 3, 4 wins. I didn't give a fuck, bro. That game was the fucking best, bro. That in Ring of Elysium. Me and the friend group played a lot of Ring of Elysium. That was a battle royale in like a snow environment. You had snowboards. Best. Oh my god. Ring of Elysium, Warzone. Just make a baby and give it to us. That's what we want. And around this time, Osito introduced me to his actual friends group. And by actual, I mean the friends he met in high school. So basically, one of Osito's friends named Moon, I forgot his actual name, apologize, but his name on Discord was Moon at the time, Muun, that's how he spelled it. He made a Discord called Snadwich. So Osito invited me to the Discord, I joined, and I met everyone on Snadwich. And then, from then on, once I met everyone on Snadwich, I was active on Discord. Like, I joined their group chats and stuff. And most of them underage. Actually, all of them except me and one other person was underage. The other person was Muffin. I don't know how old he is, but he was definitely not underage. Like, I'm 90% positive. Like, I think it was like 21 at the time when I joined, or 20 maybe. I don't know. But anyways, again. I know this might seem a bit repetitive that I'm saying this, but I did not come to this Discord because there are mostly underage people there. I came to the Discord because my friend invited me, and that way we could talk and play games and stuff. Because that was my social life. That's why I joined the Discord. Very important to point this out. So yeah, pretty much every day I was on there talking. Maybe not every day. There were times where I kind of did my own thing, played Dark Souls or didn't talk for a week or something. For the most part, I was kind of active on there. I met everyone. I got along with everyone there. But there were some issues as well. Me and Oz had a few disagreements, stuff like there were times where me and Oz scheduled a time to play, but Osito still played with someone else, and then I would give him grief over it. I don't remember what exact message I sent him or anything. It was too long ago, and I don't want to scroll up too far in the Discord, but there were times like that we had some issues, and I could tell that when those issues were happening, it was kind of bothering us a little bit. Like, he was annoyed at me and stuff like that. But after a few days, it was like it never happened. Basically, you know what I mean? Kind of like an actual friend group, right? You get issues, you work it out, right, or whatever. And then in October, I worked at Target, and then unfortunately, this is where a very unfortunate part of my life started. When I worked at Target, something kind of clicked in my head. Because I realized that up to that point in my life, I never had a girlfriend. And I was like, I think I was like 23 years old. And that, to me, it's just like... Actually, wait. This thought that I never had a girlfriend actually occurred a few months earlier than that. Sometime in 2020. I don't remember when. But anyways. It's just like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, am I really doing the right thing? Am I going to be happy by just playing games all day? Like, I started to really think about long-term happiness for me. And I was like, I don't think I can be happy for the rest of my life unless I find a girlfriend. I honestly felt that way. And so it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I got depressed. Very depressed. This started a major depressive episode that I can actually still feel to this day. It was a major source of anxiety and depression for me. And I even remember a month previous, in September 2020, me and my mom went to Mackinac Island as, for vacation. That's our favorite vacation spot, Mackinac Island in Upper Michigan. And while we were there, I saw, couples holding hands walking down the street. And when I saw that, it felt like there was like a massive hole in my heart that was not there. And I just felt so, like, I wanted that. but I didn't know how to get it. I didn't know how long it would take. And I wasn't sure if I actually would get it because I've been single my whole life, and I never really asked any girls out and stuff like that because I was too timid. And I thought that, like I said, anytime I thought a girl was hitting on me, it was just my mind making it up. I honestly felt like no girl wanted to be with me. They'd rather be some other guy, that had more with me, whatever. And just like it started like a thought process for me where like every time I thought, oh, I wish I had a girlfriend right now. That hole in my heart, I felt it again. And then it just started me like it started just a massive wave of negative emotions. Like I just felt it was just a wave of just massive sadness. That's the best way I can describe it. It felt like I was trapped. And there's some days where it was so bad. After I quit Target, I felt it in Target, but after I quit Target, and I didn't have a job, and I was unemployed and feeling this shit all day long, every day, there were times where I didn't even leave the house for like 2 or 3 days in a row. And I was just feeling this all day long. The only thing that broke up that monotony, just the fucking insane emotions I was feeling, just the massive void I was feeling in my heart, was my online friends. I know that sounds really cheesy, but it's true. I had games as an escape. I had my friends as an escape from reality. And I used them to distract myself from how I was really feeling. I know a lot of people do this, very common. And I think, honestly, it's probably one of the reasons I had a video game addiction, because it just helped me escape. That's why it helps everyone, really, I think. It's just to help them escape, If you're having financial issues, it helps you escape. If you're having family issues, issue with a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever, thinking about killing yourself, suicidal thoughts, it just helps you escape and go to a different world, right? So, I was living the online world, because every day in the real world, I was suffering. And yes, I did think about suicide a lot. And it got to a point where I felt... I remember there was a time when I was watching the Berserk anime, the original 1997 one, because that's the only good one. Sorry, that's the only good one. I know about the others, they look trash. I was watching the original Berserk anime, and amazing anime, by the way. It made me cry a few times. Seriously, it's that good. I got up to the point where Guts and Casca they both fell from the cliff, and then Guts was keeping Casca warm inside the tree, and like just the conversation they had, like, actually, wait, is this... I might be having this confused with Right Before the Eclipse. Yeah, no, I had this confused. I'm actually thinking about the part right before the Eclipse, where they make love for the first time, and they kiss and all that. And then, just the bond they had. Like, Guts was like, I wish I could make love to you again and again and again, to Casca. And like, I know it sounds cheesy, but, bro, when I heard that, I started crying. And I felt like I wanted that. And I honestly had a thought where, while I was crying silently, I was like, what if I just kill myself so I could just restart life? Because that's what I want to do. I want to restart life. I want to restart life and experience these things that I'm seeing, but I've never experienced myself. That's what I felt that time. That's what I felt. That's what I truly felt. I wanted to experience love with a girl. Real love, not fake crap. The actual thing. I wanted that bond, because I wanted this hole in my heart to go away, be filled. I honestly kept thinking to myself, after going through day and day of this depression crap, I was like, if I don't get a girlfriend in a few years, I'm just gonna kill myself, because I don't want to live my whole life feeling like this. Lost, empty, alone, unfulfilled. I can't do it. I need a girlfriend. I need a wife. I want to get married. And maybe have children. That's what I want. Obviously, you need a job as well to support, but that was my main goal, okay? And anyways, yeah, so I worked at Target for a month, I quit, And then that's when the depression got way worse. I wasn't employed again until March 2023. That is 2.5 years of unemployment. And throughout the course of early to late 2021, those two time spans, the depression got at least 2.5 times worse. It got worse because I was just in my room all day thinking about these things I was feeling, these strong emotions I was feeling. And like, it's like a thing with me where I can feel emotions very strongly. And I have autism, by the way, high functioning autism. So this may be a reason why I feel emotions really strongly. But I felt this emotion, this wanting to be loved, this just these emotions, sadness. Like I want, like every time I saw a movie with a couple getting married or something, I was like, dude, I want that. That's all I want. And I would cry, thinking like, why, why not me? You know, like, well, what do I have to do? That's all I want. I don't want $1 million. I just want to go for it. And it just got so much worse 2021, and then 2022, it probably got even worse because in 2022, I lost two of my best friends. Not because they died, but because I stopped being friends with them. But it did start getting better. Once I started working again in March of 2023, it got better. And also, I was unmedicated. That entire time span of when I quit the hospital, all the way, almost up until I started working again, I was unmedicated. No medications. I drank some alcohol, you know, but that was it. I had no antidepressants in my system, no Xanax, nothing. But in December 2022, I did go to my doctor and I got a prescription for Paxil, and that I was actually able to leave the fucking house. Okay, let me just say that much. That's how well it worked. But yeah, once I started working again, I had the antidepressant in my system. I got better, and I met a girl, and I fell in love with her. She was a coworker. She is a coworker. Why did I say was? She's a coworker there at where I work, and yeah, now we're dating. So things worked out for me, and I actually got what I wanted all those years ago. And I know it took a few years, but I'm glad. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I didn't kill myself. You know, because when you kill yourself, there's no undo button. You know, that's it. Once you do it, it's done. And I kept thinking, like, in the back of my mind, every day I felt those negative thoughts back then, I was like, maybe I will meet her, you know? Maybe I will meet her one day. So I held out, and I suffered because just have that 1% chance of meeting the right woman, I would suffer for that. And I did. And here I am with the wall. Okay? I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I didn't do it. And like I said, in March 2022, I unfriended Oz. I unfriended him because I noticed he blocked me on Instagram, like I said previously. The problem is, normally this would have been a huge blow for me because, you know, me and Osutope at this point, we were best friends. I mean, we played, you know, the last couple months leading up to this, we stopped talking as much and we kind of fell off. Maybe because of the arguments, stuff like that. Probably because of arguments, stuff like that. And he probably just, I think he was just sick of us having arguments and he was kind of resentful, like, oh, Artie Flo isn't this great person. We've had arguments, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, I lost Oz, and because I was in this depressive episode, very depressive episode, I mean, just, I felt like shit. I don't know if I can actually describe how I felt, because it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I mean, on one side of my mind, I was like, you know, if he really doesn't be friends, I think I do. But on the other side, I was like, we've been friends for so long. Why can't we work this out? You know what I mean? So I had both those sides going at the same time. And then, not only that, but I also lost two other best friends in the year of the same year. One friend, I lost two other friends. I stopped being friends with them. So, I mean, this was a couple months later that I stopped being friends with my two other best friends, who I didn't name. One of them was Ray Udero, but the other one, I don't really want to get into right now. But anyways, it was huge for me because it felt like I wanted to fix. I wanted to fix issues we had. I wanted us to be friends and play games again because I like playing games with them. I like playing games with Ryu and Oz and everyone else, and especially me and Oz because we played a lot of games. We played Dark Souls. We played so many games. I wanted, like deep in my mind, I wanted to repair it, but I knew that it was probably too far, so I just unfriended him after noticed he blocked me on Instagram, and that was that. But many months later, I remembered what happened. I remembered everything with Oz, and I made a video about it, apologizing to Oz, saying, I'm sorry for being an asshole. I wasn't saying any of this because I wanted to be friends with him again. I was just saying it like, hey, I'm sorry I treat you that way. That's what I meant the video as. This right here is a video, as you can see. I got incredible head of hair right there. And this was October 20th, 2022. And this was just me apologizing to us and just saying like, I'm sorry.
Hey Oz, I know it's been a while. I'm here making this video, not because I want to be friends again or anything like that, not because I'm trying to convince you of anything. I'm here making this video because I want to set some things straight. Mainly the number one thing I want to set straight. I'm sorry for how I treated you.
So you can see, this is just me kind of reaching out to us a little bit, just saying, just apologizing. And, I wasn't trying to be friends with him again. I wanted to know that I was sorry for being an asshole in the past, because I know I was cocky and I said, dumb crap. But I didn't mean any of it. I was just saying it. But anyways, so I made this video. It's 9 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole video here. I will include a link in the description for you if you want to watch it yourself, but that's a video I made. About 3 months after this video, someone joined my Discord, Lonesome Anarchy, and basically a lot happened, okay? This person apparently was a friend of Oz's, and Oz told him basically that I said, he said, oh, Artie said he loves me, and Artie, this and that, this and that. And then his friend was, after Oz got done telling him everything, he was, like, convinced that I was, like, a pedophile, and I was grooming him and shit. So his friend joined my Discord and started fucking asking me questions like, why did you say I love you, and stuff like that, and all this stuff. And I was just like, I told him what I said early in the video. I said, I didn't mean it that shit, we're just bros hanging out. But then, his friend was like, oh, well, you shouldn't say that to a 12-year-old or whatever the fuck. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, it sound like I'm out and about in the real world, holding hands with the 12-year-old and saying I love you. Is that what I'm fucking doing? No, I'm not fucking doing that shit. I'm just saying, like, I said to all my other friends, like I said, I wasn't specifically saying it to Oz, just because he was a couple years younger than me. I was not doing that shit, alright? And like I said, I didn't mean any of this bullshit romantically. I didn't mean that romantically. Ever. Not once did I ever actually mean it romantically or anything like that. I was just saying, like, love you, bro. That's how I meant it. Seriously. This guy wasn't getting it. I mean, he was asking me questions, and I actually banned him after he first started asking me about Oz, because I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and let you accuse me of being a pedophile. Like, I'm not gonna fucking do that. So I just banned him from my Discord. He makes another account and joins back. And then he keeps going. And then he also said, if you don't talk to me, I will message your family member and send them proof. So he was blackmailing me about me supposedly being a pedophile, even though I was not, and I'm still not, by the way. I never will be, by the way. So yeah, he was just, after that, it was like a 30-minute conversation between me and him, not through mic, but only through text. He just kept asking me questions about us. He was like, why did you say this? Why did you say that? And, I remember him saying, like, you don't seem like a bad guy, but you shouldn't have said that or something. I think he said something like that. And I showed him that video I made, and I was like, dude, I never meant any of that shit. Like, I never meant that I love you. I never, anything I said or did, you know, I didn't mean that shit. And I told him about me being depressed and stuff. And I also told him, right around the time me and I stopped being friends, I felt like I didn't deserve to be happy. I felt like I didn't deserve a girlfriend. And that is actually true, what I said. I actually felt deep down I didn't deserve to be happy. And that's actually what fueled the depression, because I felt like I deserved to suffer, because in the past I was such a bad person and stuff like that. But anyways, you know, he keeps asking me questions, we talk, and then he it's obvious to me that he's either taking pictures or recording. So he was most likely, he might even take the screenshots. I don't fucking know. But anyways, he was doing something. Because there's always like pauses between the times where he would respond and I would respond. I could tell he was doing something. But anyways, after half an hour I had enough. I was like, I'm not a fucking pedophile, and I'm so sick that OC Cho made his entire friends group think I was a pedophile, because that's not who I am. And I was pissed off. I'm not gonna lie, I was fucking pissed off. I told Sikoni about it, and he was, you know, on my side. He was like, you know, it's just, fuck, man. God. Anyways. I eventually started ignoring this person, and they left me alone. And then, you know, I talked to Sukoni about it, because I felt like shit. He helped me feel better. And the thing I was mainly pissed about is that Osito had so many people just convinced that I was a pedophile and I was grooming them. Just the amount of resentment and shit that he had was off the fucking charts. I mean, to me, it felt like he was just using the pedophilia accusation as a reason to not be friends with me more. Like, he just never wanted to have anything to do with me ever again. So he just wanted to say, oh, Artie did all this shit, so he's that type of person. He's a pedophile. You know, don't talk to him. And that's what it felt like. And also, I found out from Synchronium that Osito was telling him on Instagram, around the time that I deleted Osito in 2022, I found out that Osito told him that Osito thought I was grooming him and shit, and that, like, it just blew my fucking mind. I don't know how else to put it. It blew my fucking mind that he thought that. Because, let me tell you something. I lost count of how many friends I met on Steam that have an age gap. Okay. No, I remember I mentioned Kat way earlier, one of the friends that we played with. He was definitely under the age of 18. He was like 13 or 14 when he streamed. You could tell from his fucking voice he's underage. But, you know, I still said, you know, I love you, bro. And he said, he hesitated back. And then Synchronium said I love you as well to this cat. Does that make Synchronium a fucking pedophile for saying I love you? I mean, Synchronium didn't fucking mean it, neither did I. We were just saying it because we were tight-knit. We were a friends group. And then Oshiro was telling Synchronium all this shit. I mean, I was just like, fuck. And then, that's not even the only person. Like, I'm also friends with someone named Joey on Discord and Steam. And I met Joey around the same time I met Osito. Apparently Joey, guess how old Joey was at this time when we became friends? And I believe he added me at this time. Just take a minute, guess how old he was. I will show you how old he was. That's how old he was. He was 8 years old. It's not like I intentionally went and became friends with Joey because he was 8. He just happened to be 8 years old when we met. That's the whole point. Osito happened to be 9 years old when we met. That's all. I was not intentionally targeting Osito or anyone because they were young. Fucking no. But anyways, not even just Osito and Joey and Kat. Ryuderu, remember I mentioned him? He was also underage. I don't remember how old he was. I don't remember what I said earlier in this fucking video. My memory is that bad. He was definitely underage. He was probably 15 when I met him. 14 maybe. I don't know. And honestly, with this day and age, the age gaps and shit really isn't that weird. Because all of us, we all use computers on daily lives, right? We have social media lives and personal lives. And of course, there's gonna be adults and children using the social media at the same time. They'll converse and stuff. And no, I'm not, you know, I'm not referring to the, the weird pedophiles, the actual pedophiles, by the way, that actually go on to sites targeted for children and try to target them. I'm talking about like on Steam, you're playing a game, you run into someone, they're 9, you're like, hey dude, what's up? And then, you're like, where you from? And then they're like, yeah, I'm from blah, blah, blah. And then, you laugh, make a few jokes, whatever. It's just, that's how it is nowadays, okay? We all have different ages, different ethnicities, different racial groups. We all interact with each other. That's how it fucking is. There's nothing weird about it. The only thing that makes it weird is when you make it weird, okay? If if there were an actual pedophile, yes, they could use those social media sites to target the younger people. Absolutely, and it's fucking sad. And that should never happen in our day and age. There should be more security against that type of shit. But I was not like that. I was not the type of person. I was not targeting anyone. Ever. Not me. Never in a million years would I ever do something like that. I was just friends with them. And they happened to be younger when we met. Again, it's a very internet-focused day and age we live in. So, it's bound to happen. They could run to someone younger than you or older than you. It's bound to happen. That's the whole point I'm trying to make, because this Osito kept thinking that I was grooming him and shit, and it blew my fucking mind. And the primary reason was because of the age gap. He kept bringing the age gap up to Synchronium when he was telling me Synchronium, and so I was just like, no, this fucking bullshit. He's just this guy, man. I hate him. I hate him. I fucking hate him because of all this shit. He's poison. Like, people. I mean, it's like his points aren't even valid. I mean, who gives a fuck how old or young you are when you meet a friend? Like, who gives a fuck? It's just a fucking number, dude. Who gives a fuck? We're all people. Okay? If you start thinking into it and shit, like, really deep in it, like, oh, why did he become friends with me when he's so much older? Like, what the fuck, man? It's like, by this point, has everyone convinced on Sandwich, the Discord server. He has everyone convinced on pedophile. It's like, it makes me sad because I actually like being friends with them, with the people on Sandwich. Again, I didn't like being friends with them because they were young or anything like that. No, no. I like being friends with them because I talked a lot and we played Rust and stuff. And honestly, it was a good distraction from how I was feeling. It was a good distraction from how I was feeling, and I kind of like being friends with everyone on there. I was like, these guys are cool, And then it felt like Osito was like making all of it unfair. He was like turning everyone's perception of me into this false version of myself that I was never a part of. That's how it feels. And I just wanted to set the record straight to everyone, not just the people on Sandwich. No, I'm not a fucking pedophile. And I'll never be a pedophile. Never was a fucking pedophile. And by the way, do you even know what a pedophile means, Osito, aka George? A pedophile, I will show you the definition right fucking now. Let me zoom this out and let me open up Google right here. Hold on a second. I'm having technical difficulties. What does it mean to be a pedophile? Okay, hold on. Pedophile definition. A person who is sexually attracted to children. A person who is sexually attracted to children. That's what a pedophile is. Does this definition... Hold on. Does this definition say anything about being friends with someone on Steam and Discord? And playing games with them? No, it doesn't. Because that's not what a fucking pedophile is. You dumb fuck. A person who is sexually attracted to children. Remember how I said, the thing about Haley, the girl at the hospital? Would I have been attracted to her if I was sexually attracted to children? No. I wouldn't have And I told you, I told Osito and everyone else about Haley, the girl at the hospital, because I could trust you guys. And I meant everything I said. I liked her. I wanted to ask her out. One of the things with Haley too was one of my ideas was to ask her out was I was gonna put my number in the inside of a Dum Dum lollipop and then. Oh wait, no, that was another girl. Shit, there were two girls I had crushes on in the hospital. There's another girl named Isabella. She was so pretty. Now this pretty's my girlfriend though. Love you, babe. Even the saying I love you shit, like, no, that does not make you a pedophile. Unless, like, the only thing that would make saying that a pedophile is if you were, like, you were an adult, chatting with a child and saying stuff like, I love you, baby, and, like, trying to get them to send pictures or shit like that, which is fucking ridiculous. That's really sad. That type of shit happens. It makes me mad. But that would make it weird, right? Or saying I love you, then a heart emoji to a person you know is underage, and you're specifically targeting them. You know, that is a pedophile. Just saying I love you, bro, or I love you in a non-romantic way after in a gaming session does not make you a pedophile. It doesn't make anyone a pedophile. Okay. So everything that Al said is all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And like I said in that video, the other video I was talking about earlier that I made, I'm not trying to be friends with Alice ever again. I don't want to talk to him ever again. I don't care if he dies tomorrow. I don't fucking care. We used to be friends. Not anymore. Okay? He's dead to me. And I wish, deep down, I wish it could be different, but you know what? He made his fucking choices. He's a fucking adult and he can live with them. I made my choices and I will live with them. If he wants to go his whole life thinking that I was a pedophile the whole time, I was grooming him, whatever. Think whatever the fuck you want. I don't fucking give a shit. But to have everyone else think that I was that type of person all along, and to make them, like, all unfriend me and block me, which a lot of the people on Sandwich did, they all unfriended me and shit, thinking I was a pedophile. As a side note, I was the one that actually unfriended and blocked most of them because it just made me rethink everything about myself. I felt like I just wanted to get away from that perception that Oz was giving everyone that I was a pedophile. So in order to do that, I unfriended and blocked everyone I knew that was under their age, like of 18. Just because, like, I wanted to kind of prove to myself that I wasn't like that. Even though being friends with them automatically did make me a pedophile. My perception was just altered because of the events at the time. And, but a couple of them did actually block me and unfriend me, including Oz. I mean, that's the part that really draws the line for me, because it's like, it feels like almost like Oz was like a cult leader, and he like mass hypnotized everyone else, thinking, you know, that I was that type of person. Everyone just went along with it because they were hypnotized, and they had no control. It's like, holy fucking shit, dude. It's just, goddamn. It's like, it's fucked up. It's a fucked up situation, and honestly, like, I know there's people out there watching this that could say, like, why are you still thinking about this? You have a life and a girlfriend. Go with that. And I know. I agree with you completely. And after this, I'm probably not going to mention Oz again. Maybe in passing or whatever. But I just had to get this off my chest because, like I said, I don't know when I'm going to die. And I want to get the truth known while I'm still living to tell it. That's the truth. The truth is, love women. I probably am bi-curious, but I'm not going to, you know, go any further than that, let me tell you that much. Stick with my girlfriend for life. And that's the truth. Because I just had to get this off my chest, and honestly, I feel better. I feel better after saying all this. It took me a while to say all this, way too long. Part of me wasn't sure how to properly express myself, but I knew that one day I wanted to get this off my chest, and I wanted to make tonight the night, and I'm glad I did. Because Oz is a piece of shit, and everything, all the stupid pedophilia accusations, it just pisses me off. It pissed me off, and I hate him, and I wish things hadn't ended that way, and I wish we could reverse time, and him not think that, and, you know, simply playing games day and stuff like that. But I can't control time. But it is what it is. Okay, it pissed me off because I lost like a dozen friends just because of that drama. And also, something I forgot to mention is I left Sandwich, the Discord, after I unfriended Oz. It's just like I just lost like everyone, you know. I lost like 12 people, and because my whole life, most of my life is like online and stuff, that felt like a big blow to me because I felt like I lost like actual friends in real life. You know, that's how I felt. Anyways, I don't think I want to talk anymore. I'm tired. It's fucking 12:32 in the morning. I want to play some Escape the Backrooms because I love playing horror games now and Escape the Backrooms. Like I really like liminal spaces and that type of thing. So that's the truth. So if any of you on Snadwich are watching this right now, that's my side. Everything Oz told you, he's probably over exaggerated. So you need to get that through your heads, okay? And think, okay, about what he's told you because none of this shit is true. Honestly, this took a lot of courage to say because this took a lot of courage to make this video because I felt like by making this, by saying everything, people might actually think, oh, are you a pedophile? Or something, but like, no. It's fucking stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. I don't know what else to say. I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's it. Good night. I don't know. But that's the truth. I'm done.